What's going on, everyone? K-Mac back here with the Blitzburgh Coverage Podcast. Back here again for another episode. Post-dub. It's the Tuesday after. My voice is pretty messed up, so pardon me if my voice sounds kind of raspy or just kind of worn out. I was at the game last night, and it was quite a late night. I didn't get back till about 6 a.m. Didn't even get back to my car in the garage till like 1 a.m.-ish because they didn't get out of the stadium till 12. But wow, what a game. Monday Night Football in Pittsburgh is a hell of an atmosphere. Been there before many times for night games, Monday night games. But man, last night the stadium was rocking. Pittsburgh was rocking, man. It was awesome. So what a heck of a game this was. Whew. Episode number 8, man. Let's dive into this thing. As I'm going to go forward with the 2 podcast episodes a week, probably 20, 30-ish minutes each, though the second one will probably be shorter than the first one. But, wow, what a game last night that was. There's so much we got to dissect and dive into, so, let's dive right into this thing. First off, wow. I told y'all, man, it'd be a nail-biting, close victory, and it absolutely was. The Steelers ended up winning this game 26-22. I knew if we would score 20-plus, we'd win, but I definitely didn't envision Cleveland scoring 20-plus and us still winning. But we did, and heck of a game. Cleveland came to play, and honestly, I'm just going to keep it real here because that's what I do. Cleveland outplayed us. They outplayed us. They killed us in time of possession. They had like 20 first downs. We had like 9. They had over 400 yards of offense. We had like 255. I got my notes here, just an FYI, because there's a lot of things I want to touch on. But let's kind of dive into this game. So right off the bat, we put the defense on the field first. 3 and out, if I'm not mistaken. It's way different when you're at the game versus watching on TV, man. It's so different. There's so much going on at the field at once. You kind of sometimes just watch the Jumbotron, and you kind of sometimes, when they're on your side of the field, just watch the play, and there's so much going on, man. There's a lot to really just kind of keep track of, but really thought there were some big plays going on there in that first quarter. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. making plays. Made a nice play there on 3rd and 8 with a pass breakup. I mean, is anyone surprised? People are already clamoring more for him to see snaps, and he wants more snaps, but it's not up to him. Levi Wallace got worked again last night. Got an early turnover. I mean, hold on. We didn't even talk about. Hold up. First play of the game. Hold on. Hold up. Hold the horses here. First play of the game. Pick 6 by Alex Highsmith, right off of the receiver's hands. Bobbled up in there. Alex Highsmith, pick 6. I knew as soon as I saw this was going to be I was like, oh man, we're in for something tonight. Alex Highsmith, pick 6 right off the bat. I mean, I was just sitting down. I was like, oh boy, here we go, man. Got the towels going. And what do you know? Pick 6 right off the bat. I was like, holy smokes. So right off the bat, it's 7-0. I was like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised the defense fucking scores. So right off the bat, Cleveland comes back with a field goal. Sorry, my brain's just a little foggy, to be honest. Didn't get a lot of sleep. Woke up around like noon. Gonna get to bed till like 6. So just give me a sec here. But start off the game 7-0. Cleveland comes back with the field goal 7-3. Our next drive after that was a freaking turnover. Defense stands up. Bends, don't breaks. Field goal missed by Cleveland. The score is still 7-3 in the first quarter there. And this offense, dude. Offense the first quarter was absolutely pitiful. Nothing changed. There's no rhythm. And I really would like to know why we were in shotgun so much. Why don't we play a little bit of some power football? Bring a fullback in, bring in Connor Hayward, and run the damn football. Run the damn football. But Gunnar Olszewski with that kickoff, I mean, dude, why aren't you letting that ball go out of bounds and us starting the ball at the 40-yard line? Take him off special teams right now. Should we see A3, Calvin Austin III? But who is that? My apologies. But first quarter we end up keeping the lead, 7-3. Offense sputtering, just couldn't do anything really. Just questionable play calling, still by Matt Canada. Nothing changed there. I mean, Pickett looked still a little rattled, but at the same time, it's like these players just aren't put in a position to make plays. That early turnover was just a bad forced interception. Just threw it right to them, but the defense stands up, holds them to no points. So, I'm looking at this. Okay, so Cleveland does end up scoring there in the second, get the 2-point conversion. And I got to tell you, man, I just, this offense, dude, just looked pitiful. I mean, it was shameful last night. We had, at one point, like 2 rushing yards. Just, Tanner doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do. He really doesn't. He has no clue what he wants to do. The offense has no identity. But I tell you what, though, man. They're in the second quarter. And they didn't show this on TV, but that Nick Chubb injury was absolutely nasty. That was really hard to see. When I saw that replay, man, that sucked. That really sucked. That was brutal. And they didn't show it on TV for a good reason, because let me tell you, dude, his leg bent back like a banana. It looked bad. And that really sucks. You don't want to see that happen to anyone, you really don't. Even on your worst enemy. At the end of the day, man, these are still just people. We're all just humans, man. We're all just fans here rooting for a sport because we love it. We like a football team. But you never want to see that. So that really that was hard to see. See him get carted off there in the red zone. So Cleveland does end up scoring there. Gets the 2-point conversion, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that was hard to see. You never want to see that happen to anyone, man. And our fan base, as much people were hate on the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base, literally the crowd was chanting Chubb. So, at the end of the day, we're all just diehard fans, and you never want to see another great player go down, because we sure as hell don't want to see our great players go down. And it's a brutal game. It's really a brutal game we're in here, that we're all in. It's unfortunate because even Minka suffered an injury. We'll touch on that later, but so yeah, that was brutal. So Cleveland does get that touchdown, goes up 2, and it's 11-7 in the second quarter. We were finally able to get a nice drive going, and we were able to get a nice Boswell big 52-yard field goal. We actually got to see Bos kick his first field goal this season because the offense finally got going in the second quarter after the first quarter. First quarter, no first downs. Just first quarter, man, offense looked slow, rusty. Pickett still, looked a little unconfident at times. It's a questionable. Just far too many times. I saw plays there at the line of scrimmage where it's like, why are we throwing? We would throw it to Warren, Naj, Muth, some of our receivers at the line of scrimmage, and there was already a guy there ready to make the tackle. I mean, yeah, you want your guy to make a guy miss, but it's like, dude, there's nothing there. Maybe Pickett needed to look through his reads and progress through his reads better, but nobody's put in a position in this offense to succeed. And it's mind-boggling at times. It really is. But we were finally able to, work the middle of the field. And Kenny Pickett threw a solid, wide open throw. I'm not going to fucking praise him, but made a throw there to GP, a.k.a. Pickens. They're in the middle of the field for a huge 71-yard touchdown play. Massive run after catch. And we were finally able to score. And we went for two. And Najee fumbled the ball. And they called the play dead. Even though we recovered it in the end zone. But by rule, that is considered a dead play at that point. So at this point, we're talking about 11-16 game. I really thought the defense up to this point in the game played good. Allowed some plays. Levi Wallace, basically. Definitely had issues stopping the run, to be honest with you. But Cleveland's offensive line definitely worked. They definitely gave them some holes. Some bad tackling by Pittsburgh. Just couldn't finish. But still kept fighting, man. Just still kept fighting. Made plays. Just trying to keep things under wraps the best we could. But at this point, it was still a 16-11 game. And closing the half, TJ was able to get a big sack to close the half and held Cleveland to a field goal at this point. So now we're talking, I want to say it was a 16-13 game going into half. My halftime thoughts were honestly just like, this offense needs to get going. It needs to get going. Let's run the ball a little bit. Let's get the offensive line pushing some people, moving the pile a little bit. But I still felt good up at half. I was like, we got the lead. We've already scored more points than I thought we would. Offense got some momentum there going to second. Still, though, a lot of that was just basically from that huge play from Pickens and Pickett there. But no run game up to that point. The play calling was just abysmal. Not sure why we weren't really pushing the ball down the field. So, Robinson and Calvin Austin III at this point were really non-existent. Freiermuth only had one target last night. Maybe he was used more to help chip the Garretts and the Zadarius Smiths of the world, over there in Cleveland. But up until this point, man, Pittsburgh's defense just really played solid as we kept things under wraps. So as we opened up the second half, thought it was huge to open the second half with the ball as, we decided to elect to the second half and receive the second half possession. Thought it was big to really, get that opening drive field goal, extend the lead there to 16. It was 16-13, so then it was 19-13 at that point. But just like last week, as we opened up the second half, the defense right off the bat allowed a huge run there by the backup running back for the Browns, Ford, I believe his name is. And he looked pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. I think Cleveland's got good run schematics, man. They put the running backs in good position. And that dude takes it to the house, but was stopped at the 1 yard line. And that was the play there. Minka saved that run, but that's where he ended up suffering that chest injury. Immediately got taken to the hospital, but Tomlin said today he was back at the training facility today, And his participation throughout the week will determine his availability for Sunday night. We'll preview that. We'll preview the injuries and stuff later on when I preview the Week 3 game. But no Minka for the second half was huge, especially in a game like this. So Cleveland, man, the second half was wild. Wild second half, man. More of the same, really. Offense just kind of sputtering. Got some big plays there to Pickens. I mean, he had a 100-yard-plus game. 10 targets, 4 catches, over 100 yards on the tutty. Love to see that. Love to see it. We had a forced fumble on defense in the fourth quarter. Another play. And I felt like, man, I mean, if we just had a decent offense last night, just a decent offense, this game should have been put away. I mean, you're talking about 6 sacks by the defense, 4 turnovers, and 2 touchdowns. What else do you want your defense to do, man? What else do you want this defense to do? So, Cleveland was able to get the lead, 22-19, with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Play action, Cleveland, right around their 15-yard line. Alex Highsmith bends the edge from Watson's blind side against Willis. I don't remember Jedrick Wills, the Browns left tackle. And Highsmith, the strip sack. TJ Watt picks up the fumble recovery with about 7 minutes left. And TJ with the scoop and score. And that pretty much wins us the game, man. Because it was 22-19. And then we go up 25-22. And then Boswell with a huge extra point to really essentially make it a touchdown or lose kind of game for Cleveland there, as they could have kicked the field goal when they got to our side of the field on their next drive. But, just massive, man, massive. That play was massive there, because I don't think our offense would have scored, and the defense just won us this game. I mean, just number 90, man, is just a dog. I mean, there's nothing to be said. He's just, every time we need him to make a play, he comes up. I mean, the bigger the moment, the brighter the lights, the bigger the moment, the bigger he comes up. And what's crazy is that scoop and score happened right after Renegade. And it was just like, dude, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. If you don't know what Renegade is, go to a Steelers home game. I promise you'll know then. But, yeah, I thought Watson played an okay game. I thought he held on to the ball way too long at times. But Marcus Golden with the sack. I mean, Elijah Riley with the sack. TJ with the sack. Alex Highsmith with the sack. Ogunjobi with the sack. We didn't really blitz a whole lot, but the pressure got there. And that was really awesome to see. Compared to last week's game, the defense played phenomenal, man. Kudos to them. A+ from them, as far as I'm concerned. Special teams played good as well. And we didn't even have Anthony McFarland. And he played pretty well last week on kickoff return duties. So, I mean, that was good to see. But had a couple nice returns from Calvin Austin III to set up our offense in position. But the offense really just failed on all aspects. We were okay in third down, but just a couple too many turnovers. Just wish we could finish. Wish we could even start a drive, but, too many penalties. Too many times we would start out and second and long. Just couldn't go. We were going backwards more than forwards. And Pickett looked okay. Made some decent throws. Took some sacks. Extended a couple plays. But, man, I got to tell you. After we had that scoop and score, and then we forced a forced 3 and out, the offense has 4 minutes and 44 seconds to go. And the fact that we couldn't get one first down to close this game out, we only wasted 2 minutes off the clock. And I want to say it was a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Why aren't we lining up an ISO or power, like bring a fullback in? QB sneak that bitch. Why are we calling a read option with Pickett there is beyond me. I mean, the play calling last night was just, it's like we were trying to lose the game. But the defense ultimately holds up, stands up, 4th and 9. What do you know, JPJ could have been called for holding, but at the same time, the ball wasn't catchable. But we got outgained yards-wise last night. 20 first downs to 9. But A+ from the defense. And moving forward, man, we'll talk about it in the next podcast episode, but moving forward, you can't expect this defense to play like this every week. The offense has to get better. There's still huge question marks. But at the end of the day, we got the win. 26-22. We're 1-1. We're in second place in this AFC North division. But last night was phenomenal. JPJ needs more snaps. Levi Wallace still stinks. Because on that Jeremy Ford running play where he got 80 yards, Levi Wallace didn't keep outside contained. He bit inside and left the outside wide open. Again, just like that McCaffrey run. Whiffed again. So, TJ's that dude. Alex Highsmith played great. I thought the defensive line played good. Pat Pete's still a little old, but JPJ needs more snaps. But that'll do it for episode 8. Big win. Also, shout out to Presley Harvin. Usually he's inconsistent, and I give him a lot of shit for that. But last night, he pinned them deep multiple times. Thought he played phenomenal. So I'll give special teams an A-. I'll give defense an A+, and offense a C- at best. That'll do it for episode number 8. Catch me later. I'm out.